Hello everybody, my name is Megan, you're watching Miss Megan Knits, and links to anything I'm going to talk to you about today are going to be in the description box below. It's been 2 weeks, it hasn't been forever in between videos. Look at me, I haven't got my life together. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going with this channel. Like, am I an every 2-week poster? Is that all I do? Is it just me sitting here, very minimal editing, doing not much of interest? Or is it going to be like a thing? Am I going to do a thing? Am I going to actually start editing properly? And I don't know. We will see. I'm on my bed today. You're on the windowsill. The window is behind you over there, and I'm getting the light, so that's fun. And some overhead light too. I'm lit. So, how are you? This has been a heat situation over here in New England. I am lucky enough to have central air conditioning. Most people here don't, because it doesn't really get that hot for that long here. So a lot of people are suffering pretty bad. I'm of course in a shawl and like almost long sleeves because the air conditioning's turned up so high that now I'm cold. Kind of how that situation went. I have been knitting. I'm really struggling to try and figure out my relationship with knitting now. Like before, I was very much an if I'm sitting, I'm knitting kind of person. Like, would not put it down, would take it everywhere I went, like would knit and knit and knit. But I think now I'm in a more stable emotional place. And for me, because like again, there's nothing wrong with knitting all the time, but for me, being more well-rounded and doing other things with my life was important to me. And so because of that, I'm not going to be able to generate the amount of knitting progress in 2 weeks like I was back in the day when I was doing it really regularly. So I'm not sure, like, what do I do if I haven't knit that much that week? Do I put in a video of something else? I had some cool ideas of like, oh, what's in my notions case video, or I don't know, talk about a knitting topic video, but or just maybe space the videos out a little more. I don't know, I haven't figured out the solution. What is up? I think I can see like that. What is right there? Shadow. Oh no, it's not, it's my phone. You can't see that. You can't see that thing I'm pointing at. It's on my phone. It's my accessibility button because I have tremors and can't, screenshot and volume and stuff like that properly. Okay. Like what else? I'm trying to figure out where I fit. I'm trying to figure out where's the middle ground of knitting. I love knitting. It's brought me lots of joy. Like I want to keep doing it, obviously, but I'm trying, where does it fit in my life? What role does it play in my life right now? Now that my life has been for months a really good, stable, normal life. I'm back in school, so I'm back doing the laundry. I'm excited. Anyhow, that was a lot to think about first thing. I don't have an outline today. I put some stuff on my bed that I wanted to talk about, and we're gonna talk about it. Also, these are my border collie socks. Can you see them? I have a border collie. Her name is Sophie. She's a grumpy old lady right now because she's like 12 years old. I've had her since I was 10. That dog and I have grown up together. It was really sweet. Anyway, this is my cool socks. And then this is my girl from the grocery store shawl that I'm wearing right now. Kind of like a scarf. It's a really cool shape. It's really long. It's like, I have to show you. I can't just talk about the shape. It's like a really long triangle, almost like, and there's like a tiny skinny end over here. And then gradually it gets really, really wide, but then it ends up being so wide it's skinny, right? Because this is all one row, but it ends up being very, very wide. So it's really nice and easy to just wrap around yourself. But it is, I will say, a little long. Like, these tails are a little bit long. I generally do a wrap like this and then like a knot at these sides. This is my go-to way to wear that, but I can look like this now. Today we're doing this look. Okay, you probably can't tell my makeup is not the best today, but I think I'm far enough away that like to the knitting. So I guess first I should talk about the socks that you've seen. I don't remember what state they were in last time you saw them. These are socks for my sister, Ashley. And they're scrappy. I striped them myself. I forgot. I'm going to be doing this a lot, I guess. Good stretch. They're ribbed at the top, at the front side with a 2x2 rib. Stockinette at the back, all the way down to the sole. I started with the toe. So this is a Judy's Magic Cast On, increased till the number of stitches that fit her foot. I think it's 56. Knit down to the heel, or up, down. And did a heel flap and gusset toe up, which is probably my new favorite type of heel. It seems to fit a lot better than the short row or afterthought heels, and it's not too hard to do. There's not even any picking up stitches because you're going like backwards. Quite like it. Easy to work, nice to work, good. And then up, and then a simple stretchy bind off at the top. So it's a little roughly, but I want it to be good and stretchy. So there's one sock. That's the point, and I've got the other sock on the needles. I am doing magic loop. As I talked about before, magic loop is not really my usual thing. I have been a DPN user, but when I started these socks, I was having a lot of clumsiness issues, a lot of hand motor control issues from some of the medications I take. They've gotten better. My body's gotten used to the medication, but for a while it's pretty rough, and I was afraid I would drop a DPN and it would disappear forever. And with the magic loop, if you drop it, it's kind of all in one unit, so you just pick it up. It's not that big deal. It's not as big of a deal. So I have just the toe of the next one. Haven't been working on this one as much because I've been excited about the other stuff I've been working on, but this is a really good one to knit during lecture. I have Zoom lectures now. I'm taking a bio course that has Zoom lectures, and so we don't have our cameras on because there's like 25 of us, and bandwidth and internet. So you don't have your camera or your audio on until you're called on, and then, or like if you have a question you can butt in, but like other than that you're basically off. So I just knit. I like it because it keeps my hands busy. I feel like if I have my hands busy while I'm doing something, I actually can pay better attention because my hands are kind of just going, and a really simple sock is a good way to do that, to not have to think about very much. I'm striping them myself. I'm using Weave and Steven method. I've never used it before, so I'm not over here like reviewing the method telling you it's wonderful. I can tell you it's very easy to knit, as opposed to some of the other weaving and ends as you go methods I have tried. It's an easier one. I can show you a little. Can I show you? This is the tail woven in. You can't weave in Steven the very, very first tail or the very, very last tail. You have to weave those in like regular. That's not so bad. And then I opted for regular weaving in around the heel, just because I didn't feel like the place the Weave and Steven would end up going was the place I wanted to weave the end in. So I wove those in manually myself. But all the stripes mostly did Weave and Steven. And, so far so good. It seems like it's like holding up pretty well. Seems stretchable enough, just like any other weave and end method. People swear by it, so I figured I'd try it, but I can't like demonstrate the holdability, the durability or the how long it'll wear, just because I don't know. My first time, don't know, but so far so good. And the scraps are a bunch of scraps, so I've got a lot of different yarns. This one's Stroll, this one's Capretta. I've got this one's Chroma. Ooh, wrist brace. That's where the wrist braces went. I was looking for them. My sweater. I know I started the sweater. I guess I gave that away, but I was looking for these and to knit the sweater, so I should take them out, put those somewhere else. Yeah, I've got all kinds of different. This one's Peyton's Croy. So patents, Peyton's. That's it. That's my situation. Oh, and the pattern I made myself. So these are adapted from the Kirby socks I made her before. I took a whole bunch of foot measurements, and I was able to just kind of use a lot of the same numbers. So I save these things when I make them for people online, and then I can go in and copy paste and then just change the things I want to change. So if I want a longer leg, or if I want a different stitch pattern or whatever, I've even changed gauges on things before. You just kind of, you have something to start with. You don't have to like start from scratch. Which is pretty cool. What was it? Yeah. And this bag I got from AC Moore back when they were still a thing. I have another bag here that I got from AC Moore also. Love these. I'm just going to drop this over the edge to kind of symbolize that I talked about it already. Gently. I'm going to gently drop it over the edge. Goodbye. Bed's getting full. I mean, it's a queen size bed, but it's getting full. Okay, so I guess talk about the sweater, because like I left the sock out. Hopefully I'll find that. So first off, this is also the other AC Moore bag. It's a lot bigger, but I love it. I'm very disappointed that they're gone. It was worth noting in the bag, this bag has like a convenient outer pocket with like an elasticy thing. Can't really see it because it's all patterned, but it's got a little elasticy pocket. And I put in like the convenient stuff in here that I need to reach for. So here I've got apparently some grass grain ribbon and a post-it from a previous project. I like these, I don't remember. I guess I wrote on this at some point 56 stitches, 28, 28. But you can just write quick notes, and I have a pencil for writing quick notes. And this is apparently a gauge ruler because, or it's a Knitpicks. It's got a little magnifying bit, and it's got a needle sizer on the other end, which I didn't end up using, so I'm not sure why these are in here, but the pencil's helpful. And then I usually stick my light in there, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. So I bought sweater yarn. I went to my yarn store and I bought sweater yarn. My mom for Christmas had basically wrote me a little note saying like she'd buy me a sweater's worth of yarn, of nice yarn. And that was like a present. She wrapped it all up in a box and everything. And I was like excited, but I hadn't been knitting really. I mean, watch the Why I Haven't Been Knitting video if you're interested in that whole backstory of, you know, a couple months in my life. But yeah, I ended up wanting it. So I went to my local yarn store and I poked around. I walked in with like 4 patterns in mind. 1 worsted, 1 DK, 1 fingering, and then 1 with 2 lace held together. And what I basically said was, depending on the yarn I fall in love with, like that'll be the pattern I go with. You know, I narrowed it down to 1 for each weight. And then I went in and I touched everything, I squished everything, and I needed it to be machine washable because I know myself, and with like a sweater, I'm not machine washing it or hand washing it. I don't have the patience to hand wash the sweater. And I also know that with the sweaters I have made that have to be hand washed, I don't wear them very often because I'm worried about getting them dirty and having to wash them. So machine washable yarn was a must. I ended up with Cascade Heritage sock yarn, 75% merino, 25% nylon. And this is the color 5632, which is super helpful. I hate when they do numbers. Yeah. But here you go. So this is the yarn. Ooh, the natural lighting will be good for this. Let me scooch up. Here it is. Look at that. Very pretty. Get my face on there, make sure focusing is correct. It's kind of a tonal purple. I love tonal yarns. Tonal is probably my favorite dye type. Like I like it better than speckle. I like it better than striped or variegated. Like tonal is my heart. This is like a pretty dark purple. And I got enough skeins to make a sweater. So I will show you the pattern of the sweater next. I guess it's a pretty... By the way, pro tip. These poly envelopes, I got this from Office Max. They're just little plasticky envelopes that you can stick stuff in. And they are so helpful for carrying your patterns around. Because I just put the pattern, I kind of fold it, put it in the envelope. And they kind of keep it protected in the bag and don't have to worry about it getting crunkled, or it gets a little crunkled, but not a lot of crunkles. So this, okay, I'm going to show you the picture, but like it's a very bad picture because my printer ran out of like blue ink. So this is the picture of the hoodie. Oop, oop, oop. Yeah, you can't see. Oh, that's just the beginning page, okay. So in case anybody accidentally screenshots that, that's just what the size needles you need. It's not like any of the pattern. It's like a casual kind of hoodie type sweater. I wanted something that I could wear like all the time around the house, but also like wear it out, right? It needs to be casual enough for just lounging in, but also like if I'm going to the store or going somewhere moderately, like not fancy because it's like a hoodie, but you know, going on a date with my boyfriend to get lunch or something, like I want to be able to wear it there. And I really like that it's lightweight. I've wanted a fingering weight sweater for a long time. I haven't wanted to knit a fingering weight sweater because that's a lot of stitches, right? Like each stitch is smaller. You gotta make 1.5 million of them. Seems like a lot of work, but I've never tried it. And what better time than when I'm in a crisis of my knitting, not sure what to do, to pick up something I've never tried before. So another tip, highlight your patterns. They're all yellowy highlighted and blue highlighted. And there's notes on them. Do that. Makes my life so much easier. But anyway, so that's what I've got. So I'll show you the progress I've made. Oh, also with the yarn, funny story. I love that yarn. So I took it home and then I realized it's the same yarn I used for the Kirby socks. And that's good because I really like that yarn. I liked working with it. I liked the way it felt, the way it squished. So I guess I'm glad that it's the same yarn because I know what to expect now. Okay. Oh, I also wound it up with my little Knit Picks ball winder and it happened to be in the bag. It's not the best ball winder. It kind of clicks if you go too fast. But like, you know, it's alright. And then I have also my Swift. This I just got on Amazon. It is an off-brand Swift wool wire laying frame. But it does the job. It's a little umbrella Swift. I don't like it because it has these bits at the top that like catch the yarn if you're not while you're winding. You know, when you're laying it on there, it's a bit of a pain. Don't know why that was in there. Anyway, sweater. Oh, I'm using my Knit Picks interchangeable needles. Now, I think these are contributing to some of my wrist pain. I prefer needles with flex to them, especially when I'm working on longer projects. I thought about using my Knitter's Pride marbles, which are acrylic needles. They have a little bit of a give to them, and that makes my wrists so much easier. But I'm like, no, like, my wrists are fine. They're not. I haven't built up a lot of strength in them. I haven't built up a lot of strength in them because I haven't been knitting a lot, so they don't last me very long when I knit. And I always stop when I'm in pain, rest. If it's bad, I ice it. But an ice goes right here, by the way, for carpal tunnel. Ignore the top part, it doesn't matter. Right here, right where this, because that's the part that's inflamed and causing you pain. Even if the pain is kind of up here-ish, this part's the instigator. So cover that up with ice. I'm all over the place today, sorry. So this is my sweater. It has yellow in it because I did a provisional cast on. And for my provisional cast on, I just used some scrap yellow fingering I had laying around. I thought it would be different enough from the purple to make it easier when you pick up stitches. That's the key. You want a smooth yarn, the same weight that you can see against your yarns. If you've got a light yarn, maybe use a dark yarn. If you've got a light yarn for your project, maybe use a dark one. If you've got a dark one, use a light one. If you've got, use a different color, make it obvious. So basically this first part, it has a turn. Oh, I forgot to list the name of the pattern. My goodness. The Austin Hoodie by Connie Chinchio. She's, I believe, physics knits or something. Chem? No, not chem knits. Physics? I don't know. She's got some sort of sciencey handle on Ravelry. I thought it was cool. That's why I remembered the sciencey part. But yeah, so this is going to be a turned up hem. So in case you don't know, a provisional cast on is basically where you start your cast on with scrap yarn. So you can see I have this yellow scrap yarn that I started with. And you kind of crochet, and there's a couple different ways I know, or at least 2 ways I know to do it. But if you start with waste yarn, and then you grab your real yarn and start knitting with it. And your real yarn is knitting upwards this way, right? I'm gonna pull that out for you. Your real yarn is going up, right? You're building rows up here. What you can do is actually unravel the waste yarn, and you have yarn that can go down. And it's a really nice, neat, pretty way to go down. And there's plenty of ways you can use that kind of feature in a project. This particular one has a turned hem. So if you think about a hem when you're sewing, you have your flat piece of fabric, you turn a bit of it up, and you stitch it down. That's kind of what you're doing here. So you start with the provisional cast on, you knit until you have a piece of fabric, right, to turn up. You fold it together, and you unravel the stitches that were on the yellow, and then you knit them together with the stitches that are on, like, the real stitches, the regular stitches. And the yellow goes away, by the way. When you unravel it, it goes away. So you don't see that at all. But you end up with this little folded up hem thing at the bottom, which is very pretty. People also use it in toe-up socks. If you're doing a short row toe, you do a provisional cast on, you work the toe all the way around, and then undo the provisional cast on, so now you have a tube to go upwards. You can use it as a cowl. If you like want to do like a scarf that makes it into a cowl, you can provisional cast on, knit the whole thing, and then come back and undo this, and then you can Kitchener them together instead of sewing, and it's like a prettier, I mean, I would just sew, I don't myself, but you know, you could Kitchener them together. People make scarves that drape and have the pattern going the same way by making it in two different directions instead of like doing it one way, because if you do it one way, one side will be upside down. Plenty of ways, but that's the way it's going to be used for me. And not looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous because this sweater has some pretty interesting skills that I have not done before or not done in a while. I haven't done a provisional cast on in a good long time, so it will be interesting to see how I do with that. I will point out that because this yarn is so dark, even on the shinier needles, I have problems seeing the stitches. And to the point where, like when I'm knitting in bed at night, which is when I've been knitting lately, just getting like an hour and watching some YouTube in bed and knitting, I need to use a light. And this has been a godsend. Mom got me this for my birthday, my 22nd birthday, which was in September. Like, don't say happy birthday to me. It's been a while. But it's basically a light. So it has a little base at the back. And then each one of these, let me see if I can do it, turns on to be a flashlight. And the other one does too. And they're very bendy. So there's like all kinds of stuff you can do with them. You could like set them down on a surface and bend them. But it's really made to be around your neck. So you can kind of put it around your neck. And then you can like bend the thingies to be the right place. So then you can like flashlight on your knitting while you're knitting, and it holds it for you. Very helpful, actually. I've been keeping this in my sweater bag. It charges. This is from Vecchia. I imagine some off-brand Amazon thing, because that's my mom's style. But it charges with a regular USB mini charging port thing, you know, those. And it comes with a charger cable, but you can just use whichever one you find that fits that. It's not a big deal. And I like it. It's been helpful. My only regret is that I didn't get black yarn, because I'm like, oh, black yarn will be too hard to see. Let me get purple instead. And I got purple, and I like purple. But at this point, I might as well have just gone with the black, because if I have to use the light anyway, I might as well have used black. Because I thought the black yarn was really pretty. It was like a tonal black, but unfortunately did not foresee that. It's okay. This purple sweater is pretty too. I'm like gonna be happy with the purple sweater, I know, but the black one would have been nicer. All right, let's put this away. Casting on that many stitches was a lot, by the way. Okay, fun fact of mine. Casting on is my least favorite part of knitting. I hate casting on. Some people hate binding off. Some people hate like straight stockinette. I feel like everybody has like a thing they hate to do. Like one knitting thing, it's like a chore. For me, it is casting on. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I find it very tedious. I find it very boring. I find it like, oh my god. And it doesn't matter which cast on I use, because I've used several. I just want to knit already. It's, for me, casting on is worse than swatching, I think, in terms of annoyance factor. Okay. Now, one more. I have one more project that I started. Started this yesterday, so like, don't laugh at me. By the way, this is in a little Webs drawstring bag that my mom got me for Christmas. She got me a bunch of knitting stuff for Christmas and I wasn't knitting, which is kind of sad, but I'm doing it now. So the project I have, I wanted amigurumi. Like yesterday I had a hankering for some amigurumi. And amigurumi to me is a very good anxiety buster craft, just because it is so rhythmical. Like a lot of people say, oh, just knit some stockinette and like that'll get your anxiety away. But for me, if my hands are doing the boring repetitive thing, my brain wanders. My brain goes other places and usually goes into anxious working places. So amigurumi is cool because you have to count a lot. 1, 2, 3, 2 in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 2 in the next stitch. And you have to really pay attention. So that one helps me because, especially counting, I find anxiety numbers are really good for my anxiety. Just do some math of some kind, and amigurumi is math, you know. That's just my style though. Okay, I did not bookmark it. Why did I not bookmark it? Oh, so I am doing, this is Crochet Bears and Other Animals, 25 Toys to Crochet from Emma Brown. And I am making Whimsy the bunny. So this is the white bunny. They have all these animal friends in the book. It's really cute. Oh, here we go. I was like, did I not put a bookmark in? I did. The bookmark just didn't help me. And there goes the bookmark. This is Whimsy's pattern trick. I put a paper clip with an arrow, or not paper clip, it's a sticky note with an arrow, and I point it to the direction I am currently on. Because a lot of times in these patterns, there's a lot of rounds like written really close together, and I don't remember which round I'm on sometimes, and the easiest way for me is just to like move the sticky. Yeah, so here's the bunny. So cute, right? I don't know, I leafed through my amigurumi books, and that was the one that spoke to me kind of immediately a little bit, and I was like, nope, this one. I wasn't really excited about the other ones, but this one I was like, yes, we're gonna do this one. So what I've got for Whimsy, the yarns. Acrylic is my favorite to crochet with. Now this calls for DK, I'm using worsted. I mean, the good thing about amigurumi is that all that means is that mine will be like scaled up, you know. If I use a bigger gauge, which it will be because I have a bigger yarn, and a hook that fits the yarn, so not the hook that's recommended, then it's just going to be like overall bigger. And unless you're worried about yardage of yarn, or you're trying to make sure the toy is a certain size, it doesn't matter. It won't like break the pattern or something. So what I've got here is Stitch Studio by Nicole, Studio Basic, and Vanilla Bean. This is just the regular Stitch Studio, not the classic. The classic is very soft, and actually I don't like amigurumi crochet with the soft. It makes a beautiful product, but it is a pain in the behind to work with at a small gauge because it splits a lot. Hoping this one won't, and it hasn't so far. And then I have, this is leftover Red Heart Super Saver variegated. That I kind of got from somebody who their mother passed away, and their mother was a crocheter, and they wanted their yarn to like be somewhere good, you know, and I got it. So this is a little bit I had left over from a project I did with it, and it's gonna be a cute little variegated sweater. So like this is the bunny, this is the sweater. The bunny pattern had 3 different colors for the sweater to make a striped sweater. I'm just gonna do one big variegated sweater. And here I have my progress. So this is a Knit Picks Bright crochet hook 3.5 millimeter. If you watch, you probably know by now this is the crochet hook set I've been working with. I'm not a crochet hook connoisseur. I bought this set to make sure I had all the sizes, and then kind of just have been using it, even though it's aluminum. I like the squishy grip with a little bit of give. My wrists enjoy that. I don't know why they like things that kind of bend a little or move a little, but they do. Like, I was having problems with the sweater needles because they're just straight metal and they're not as comfortable. I'll make it work, but they're not as comfortable. Anyway, this is the beginning of the head, so it's obviously bigger than it would be. I love the shine on the yarn. I think I picked a bunny because bunnies remind me of my boyfriend. I'm not gonna go any further than that, but bunnies remind me of him. So I like have half a mind to like give it to him for the next holiday. Like knit it and put or crochet it up. He won't watch this. If he does, or if you watch this, let me know. But I have half a mind to knit this up or crochet this up and then like put it away somewhere, and then for like a birthday or a Christmas or something, like give it to him. I think that'd be really cute because he's a stuffed animal guy. Like, I'm not even ashamed to say that on the internet. Like, I have stuffed animals all over the place, easily grabbable, and he has stuffed animals too. So no shame. It's a pillow, right? Like, if you're gonna have a squishy pillow, make it have a cute face, right? Like, why not? Anyway, so I've got notions here. Yeah, so anyway, but the problem with that is I can't keep a secret. His birthday's in February. Christmas is, Christmas. Our anniversary's in December. So if I was trying to do like a present for like an occasion, I don't have any coming up. Like, I'd have to wait a while. And I'm terrible at keeping secrets. I keep important secrets, like important personal stuff. I will obviously keep that a secret. But things like surprises or fun, like casual secrets, like, ooh, don't tell so-and-so that I did this, ha ha ha. Like, I'm terrible at that. The non-serious ones, bad. So, I don't know. I'll probably tell him tonight, look, I'm making a bunny, and ruin the whole thing. But, yes. Oh, also for this book, worth noting, I made and documented on this channel a pattern from here to give you an update on. So this is Teasel. This is Teasel in her home. I didn't make the home. I just made Teasel. Here's Teasel. I made her in different colors. Somebody's pulling a boat driving by. I made her in different colors, but I made her for my boyfriend's dog, Peanut. And Peanut has lots and lots of like stuffy toys, so I made a crochet one for her. And I gave it to her, and I was told that she sleeps with it every night. Like, that's the one she snuggles with on, I guess, his parents' bed and like cuddles up with and sleeps with. And I was like, aww. Apparently it took her a while to get used to it because she's kind of an anxious dog, and obviously it smells like all like me and stuff, and she knows me, but she's still kind of skittish around me. And I'm, of course, trying to just be polite, Dog manners, don't engage unless you're engaging friendly, and then be gentle and slow, and, like, don't push anything on them and all that, because don't want a scared dog. Scared dog's not a good thing, especially for bites. Not that she would bite, but, like, you don't tempt it, right? You don't ask for it. But yeah, so, it took a while to get used to it, but she really likes it. I'm like, oh, that makes me very happy. Okay, so I'm not giving this one to a dog, though. The bunny is a little more complicated. Teasel was a very quick crochet. If you wanted to get the book like for Teasel, I would recommend Teasel. It was really fun. The spines are like stitched on later, so you just make like a big football shape and stitch the spines on. It was very nice. Not super complicated. The book's not in there. Did the dramatic close when the book wasn't in there. Okay. Now that is it. I was planning on kind of discussing where I am in my knitting. I think we already got it. Like, I'm emotionally stable now, which is like something that has not happened to me. Like, not having something wrong with my emotions is something that had not happened to me in like 12 years. and now it's happened, and I don't know what to do about it. And I'm constantly looking around like, does this mean I'm manic? Does this mean I'm depressed? Like, trying to find signs. I'm very constantly like checking myself, and that's not fun. But I will say, I'm doing a lot better. It's really weird. Still taking handfuls of pills every day, but I don't care if that means I can be stable. But then it's like, I don't know what to do with myself, you know? When I was depressed, I wouldn't knit because I didn't care about anything. And when I was manic, I would just like obsessively knit and not put it down for any reason, even if my body was screaming at me to stop, even if I had other responsibilities. Like, it would not be going away or would not be stopping. So I'm kind of in the middle, and like, how do normal people do this? How much is a normal amount to knit? Somebody please inform me. Okay, well, thank you for watching. My name is Megan. This has been Miss Megan Knits. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Wait, no, I gotta do both hands. Bye.